Boy, oh boy, is this a real showcase of what happens when Wargaming absolutely loves a specific tank. Of course, I'm talking about the Rhinocerente. Now, of course, for those of you who don't know, the Rhinocerente, or the Rhino as they call it, the Rhinocerente, whatever the hell whichever way you want to pronounce it, it's pronounced Rhinocerente, okay? This is the Italian T10 heavy tank. I've made a review of this tank before, but boy oh boy, does this tank seriously know how to rock and roll when put in the right hands. It really is an absolute beast of a thing. And honestly, this is perfect to carry a match. It is honestly one of the best tanks to play in if you really want to carry in a tank. This is the tank to do it in. And I'm going to showcase exactly what I mean in just a second. So this is Invincible Slovak from the EK clan, playing in his Rhinocerente on Alpenstadt. And this is going to be an absolute amazing showcase of the Rhinocerente in its peak environment. Truly a tank of the people currently in this meta. For those of you who don't know, this has a beautiful 120mm gun that has a nice amount of ammo damage, a great amount of DPM considering it is a auto-reloading heavy tank. Okay? And it's just great. It's got a 3.3 second intra-grip reload. If you fire your first shell, it takes 8.3 seconds to reload. If you just fire your first shell, you should have just under 3,000 DPM. It's quite mobile. It's got a good amount of armor. It's got good, very nice gun handling and a gun accuracy, as you can see from that shot there on the Object 277. He does choose to fire on the T57 Heavy. The Object 777 obviously not trying to fire on the Rhinocerente. A nice shot into the sides of the T57 Heavy there, getting 2 shots in. And you can see, even if you fire both your shots, you're not at risk of obviously losing a lot of hit points, because this does not have a reserve shell. In fact, it actually helps a lot when there isn't a tank that has a reserve shell. Because unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there who don't know how to play a tank with the reserve shell, like for instance, the Garo 45T. Another 445 alpha shot into the sides of that T57 Heavy. One thing to note, if you are playing in a T57 Heavy, please, by all means, do not go sideways out like that, exposing your armor. You have no armor on the side of your on the side of your armor profile there. A nice tracking shot there, gets that kill on the T57 Heavy. Mr. Frania on the enemy team, nice kill there. So he's up to 2,300 damage. Now he's up to 2,700 damage. 1 kill. He is keeping his cool. His team is down by 1 tank. So it is a 5 versus 6 situation. Now he's made it a 5 versus 5 situation, killing the Object 777. Now, there is the Super Conqueror there. He's got to be very careful because the Super Conqueror does have a lot of armor on the front right there, as you can see, and on the turret, but he is hitting that lower plate. He's telling the guys to fire on the Super Conqueror. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The Super Conqueror is on 63 hit points of damage, and the 777 on his team makes mincemeat of that, the Super Conqueror. 480 alpha damage into the side of that Jaegeru. He really is kicking into gear now. He has preserved his hit points, so he can afford to take a couple hits from the Hori there. He's on 4,679 hit points of damage and 2 kills. He needs to be very careful, though. He needs to preserve his hit points once again, and they are capping the base to obviously entice the enemy team to make their way forward. Now, he'd be smart to switch to heat, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He gets a shot into the Hori. Beautiful shot there. The Project Marat tries to get a shot into him, but obviously the turret armor on the Rhinocerente is quite strong. Not to mention as well, it's quite trollish in the way that it's structured. Oh wow, he's got an FV-215B-183 to worry about. Hopefully he doesn't hit him with Hesh. He does have an Object 268 version 4 to help him out. Gets a shot into the 183. Not sure what he's doing there. I believe that was the Jaegeru that hit him for 888 damage. damage. I could be wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that was the Jaegeru and not the FV215B. But the 183 is literally on a one-shot. The guy can, yep, he does kill him, but unfortunately the Jaegeru, and I was correct, it was the Jaegeru, gets a shot into the Project Murat. Beautiful, beautiful there. Wasn't expecting that shot there. Yeah, great work, getting your gun around, firing on the move like that before the Project Murat can obviously aim his shot in. Now, he needs to be very careful here. He's on 5,748 damage. He's blocked 1,140 damage. He's only on 201 hit points. He needs to be very, very careful here, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm telling you, that Jaegeru is on full hit points, which means he can make mincemeat of that. Hell, he nearly almost got a shot there into the side of the Jaegeru, and he is going to basically reset his camouflage before the Jaegeru spots him again. Now, he needs to be very, very careful here. Now, I'm going to pause the video right here. This is a very crucial situation here, because our protagonist over here, Mr. Invincible Slovak, needs to play his cards correctly. There's a Jaegeru on full hit points. He is a devastating fella, but in the terrain that Slovak is in, it is to his advantage. That Jaegeru is not a mobile tank. If anything, it's big, it's lumbersome. He's going to struggle to get to where Slovak is. So, in turn, this Jaegeru could have done something smart, which he's doing right there. He's trying to basically bounce on top of him, but instead, he's going to track him. That's a very good idea there. 525 hit points of damage with that high roll shot there. That was a very poor decision by the Jaegeru. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. He's on one more shot. All the Jaegeru needs to do is literally breathe on him with HE, and he'll be fine. Does he get the shot into him? Yes, he does. Oh my days. That was an absolute amazing play of the tank there, using the ridgeline and using the heaviness and poor mobility of the Jaegeru to Mr. Invincible Slovak's advantage. Look at those medals, ladies and gentlemen. Look. 7,641 damage, 5 kills, 7 damage there, 1,140 hit points blocked. Ace Mastery. He got the Radley Walters medal for those 5 kills. High Caliber. He got the Top Gun medal as well. Look at those stats, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that, 7,641 damage. And he absolutely topped the team in his damage and his kill count. Not to mention the FV215B183 on his team did absolutely jack shit all battle. So yeah, that's great to see. The T-57 Heavy on the enemy team did absolutely nothing as well. I mean you can kind of understand the skill level that player had, considering the fact that he literally drove out sideways the whole match at the beginning of the match and just got absolutely wrecked by our protagonist here. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a proper showcase of how to play in the Rhinoceronte and how to play just in general, in a heavy tank, in a very sneaky, or rather a very tight situation whereby you are against a bunch of enemy tanks and you have to make split-second decisions. This was a perfect example of how you do that. Don't choke. Basically, don't choke. Don't stress out. Make sure that you focus on the end goal, because at the end of the day, it's going to reward you greatly. Ladies and gentlemen, look after yourselves, look after your friends and family. Hope you enjoyed the video, of course, and stay safe on the battlefield. Bye for now.